Buddy, and this is a part of a series of the first page of great books, and we have The Return of the Native by Thomas Hardy. This is the first page. I'll go right in. One, a face, a face on which time makes but little impression. That's the heading. A face on which time makes but little impression. Uh, Thomas Hardy writes very beautifully. A Saturday afternoon in November was approaching A Saturday afternoon in November was approaching the time of twilight, and the vast tract of unenclosed wild known as Egdon Heath embrowned itself moment by moment. Overhead, the hollow stretch of whitish cloud shutting out the sky was as a tent. Overhead, the hollow stretch of whitish cloud shutting out the sky was as a tent which had the whole Heath, for its floor. The heaven being spread with this Pallid, screen, the earth with the darkest vegetation. Their meeting line at the horizon was clearly marked. In such contrast, the Heath wore the appearance of an installment of night which had taken up its place before its astronomical hour was come. Darkness had to a great extent arrived here on while day stood distinct in the sky. Darkness here, day in the sky. Looking upwards, a furze cutter could have been inclined to continue work. Looking down, he would have decided to finish his faggot and go home. The distant rims of the world and of the firmament seemed to be a division in time, no less, no less than a division in matter. The face of the Heth by its mere complexion, added half an hour to eve. It could be in like manner, it could in like manner retard the dawn, sadden noon, anticipate the frowning of storms scarcely generated, and intensify the opacity of a moonless midnight to a cause of shaking and dread fear. In fact, precisely at this transitional point of its nightly roll into darkness, the great and particular glory of the Egdon waste began, and nobody could be said to understand the Heth who had not been there at such a time. It could best be felt. It could best be felt when it could not clearly be seen. Its complete effect and explanation lay in this, and the succeeding hours before the next dawn. Then and only then did it tell its true tale. He's talking about the Heth. And when night showed itself an apparent tendency to gravitate together, and when night showed itself an apparent tendency to gravitate together could be perceived in its shades and the scene. The somber stretch of rounds and hollows seemed to rise and meet the evening gloom in pure sympathy. The Heth exhaling darkness as rapidly as the heavens precipitated it. The obscurity in the air, the obscurity in the air, and the obscurity in the land close together in a black fraternization towards which each advanced halfway. He writes like this. Absolutely he writes like they say he was an architect. So, like building, you know. You can read it again. I just reduce the first page to you. This goes on into an amazing novel of two characters. And the heroine in this I had met in real life. I was shocked when I read this book because Thomas Hardy had this ability to get he had this ability to really not create characters. Yeah, create character, how to say, he had this ability to give such total reality to characters. You would meet them, you know. That is the power of Thomas Hardy, and thus you can see the same power and the feel he has for nature. Actually, we have that, when you go to a place, you can there is a feel which is, and he has captured it in words. It's not as if it's something alien. When you read, you'll know. And that is what we have to do. When you read, we know, we feel. Thank you.